What is going on, guys? Today I'm here at the burial site of the father of Europe, Charlemagne. This is going to be one of the most epic videos we've ever done on this channel. Gravesite wise, Charlemagne was the very first person to be crowned emperor since the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 800 AD. This is the Cathedral of Aachen here in Germany, in North Rhine-Westphalia. This building was built in 796 AD during his reign. Aachen served as the capital of the Frankish Empire, which Charlemagne ruled in. Today we're going to be going inside, and we're also going to be saying his name for smash in front of his grave. So let's get into who Charlemagne is and where he fits into European history. So Charlemagne was born in 742 at the time that this land was dominated by the Kingdom of the Franks. Now the Franks started off as a Germanic tribe during the Roman days in Germania Superior. After the fall of the empire, the Franks started to dominate most of the area that is now associated with Gaul and the Low Countries. It was split many times into Austrasia, Neustria, Metz, and other places like that. Many times. It was ruled by a dynasty known as the Merovingians, who was started by a man named Merovech in the latter days of Rome. Rome fell in 476, and the Merovingians ended up ruling the Frankish Empire for the next few hundred years, until a position within the empire known as the mayor of the palace becomes very powerful. Charlemagne's grandfather was a guy named Charles Martel, and Charles Martel ended up becoming king of the Franks after usurping the throne from the Merovingians, because his position became more powerful than that of the king. Charles Martel ruled for a few years before being ousted by the Merovingians again. However, his son, Pepin the Short, who was Charlemagne's father, ends up coming to the throne. He ends up coming back to the throne, establishing Carolingian rule in the continent, in the Frankish kingdom. And then Pepin the Short dies in 768, leading to both of his sons, Charlemagne and Carloman, becoming dual kings of the Franks. And Charlemagne's name is known as Charles the Great, but it is important to note that he is the first Charles in the counting of the Holy Roman Emperors and the kings of France, because they both claim him. However, he was not the first king named Charles. His grandfather, Charles Martel, was the first one. But Charlemagne's name does mean Charles the Great, and he inherits the throne of the Franks in 768 AD. So Charlemagne becomes king of the Franks in 768 AD, along with his brother Carloman. Now, they rule together. Carloman dies about 3 years later in 771. So Charlemagne ends up inheriting the entire empire solely for himself. Charlemagne was a major military tactician for his time. He conquered a lot of land, including the kingdom of the Lombards in Italy, and he also helped with the Reconquista in the Iberian Peninsula, kicking the Moors out, helping with the Spaniards down there in that area. Charlemagne also defeated the Slavs and other tribes out east to expand his empire all the way into Germany from France. And Charlemagne thus was crowned the Emperor of Rome in 800 AD on Christmas Day by Pope Leo III, being the first person to be crowned emperor since the fall of the Roman Empire, which is very, very significant. And today, every single monarch in Europe can somehow trace their line back to Charlemagne, and most people of European descent today can trace a line back to Charlemagne, and he's the ancestor of most people of European descent today. Charlemagne ended up ruling more land in Europe than anyone had since Rome, and probably will ever. He's the greatest leader in Europe during the Middle Ages, no doubt. He ended up dying in 814 AD, leaving the entire empire to his son, Louis the Pious. Louis the Pious's sons, after his death, Charlemagne's grandkids, ended up splitting the empire into East, West, and Middle Francia, which corresponds today with Italy, France, and Germany. And so the empire was split up. So Charlemagne's empire did not last long, but he expanded it to great heights. And he has had an impact on shaping the countries of Germany today, France, and Italy, and basically all of Western Europe can all be traced back to Charlemagne. So he is known as the father of Europe because he reshaped the continent, basically. So that is why he has such an impact. Let's go check out the cathedral and his gravesite. place is phenomenal. Show the ceiling again. Guys, here we go. The moment we've all been waiting for. I think we got to go around. He's buried in one of those things. Oh, I think you got to go on a. You got to go on a tour to get in there. Or? Look at this art. It's beautiful. All right, so it's right over here. This is there. This is the site. I believe one of these is the coffin. Also, additionally buried in here is Holy Roman Emperor Otto III. He's buried in here as well. He was from the Saxon dynasty. He ruled the Holy Roman Empire from 983 to 1002 AD. He was 3 years old when he was crowned king of Germany, and he died when he was 22 in 1002. He's buried in here as well. So Charlemagne, one of these two things. I don't know what material, if that's real gold or not. I would not be surprised if it was. They still use this cathedral today for Catholic services. They do three services in the morning on Sundays, and then one in the evening. We're going to try to make the evening service if we can at 18 o'clock. So we're going to try to do that. But this architecture of this building is absolutely phenomenal. This is the pinnacle. My bad. This is the pinnacle of medieval architecture right here. This is absolutely phenomenal and immaculate. The stained glass by his grave is absolutely beautiful. Look at this stained glass right here. This is amazing. I'm going to go ahead and say his name for smash right here. Charlemagne for smash. There we go, guys. Look at that stained glass. That is absolutely beautiful. He's the father of Europe. My 20th great-grandfather or whatever. Oh, that's just breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. That little gold structure on the front of the tomb right there, that is him. There's a man right there that signifies him. See? That is really cool. That is really cool, guys. I think this is an extension to the cathedral or another building nearby. Some artifacts here about the Aachen Cathedral. There's a giant gold bust of Charlemagne. Giant gold bust of Charlemagne. Check out. Here he is. Pause real quick. So we are inside the Treasury of Aachen. I got a discount because I'm a college student, so that's cool. Charlemagne donates stuff. That's crazy. So this stuff is real gold. Hold on. This is a sarcophagus from 3rd century Rome right here. Here it is, guys. Look at this, guys. This is incredible. This is the gold bust that he was buried in his coffin with him. Look at that. That is immaculate. It's got the Holy Roman Empire eagle and the French fleur-de-lis down there. That is the crown. Oh, I wonder if that's the real crown. To my knowledge, all of this is real gold in the treasury that Charlemagne was buried with. That's not his hand. There's no way. There's a bone in there. That might be his hand, guys. Here's a dagger. Anglo-Saxon, 8th century. Wow. Ivory from Egypt. It's the hunting horn of Charlemagne. So guys, with that, I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. This was an absolutely immaculate video, and I really appreciate if you guys could hit that subscribe button and like, and share it with your friends and stuff. This video is absolutely awesome. Charlemagne is a freaking legend. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Wow.